Hello everyone, in this video we are going to discuss the essay questions of the chapter Logic and Language. So let's begin. Discuss the role of language in logical reasoning and explain how different functions of language can either facilitate or hinder effective logical analysis. Language plays a pivotal role in logical reasoning as it is the primary medium through which thoughts and arguments are expressed and communicated. The validity and the soundness of logical arguments heavily depend on the precise and unambiguous use of language. If language is used improperly or imprecisely, it can lead to fallacies, invalid conclusions, and breakdowns in logical reasoning. One of the key functions of language in logical reasoning is the informative function. This function involves using language to convey factual information, describe reality, and make statements that can be evaluated as true or false. The informative function is essential for logical reasoning because it provides the premises and conclusions upon which arguments are constructed. Clear and precise informative statements are necessary for evaluating the validity of arguments and drawing sound conclusions. However, language serves other functions that can either facilitate or hinder logical analysis. The expressive function, which allows individuals to express emotions, feelings, and subjective experiences, can be hindrance to logical reasoning if not properly identified or separated. Emotive language and appeals to emotion can obscure the logical structure of arguments and introduce irrelevant considerations leading to fallacious reasoning. Similarly, the directive function, which enables the use of language to command, request, or suggest actions, does not directly contribute to the logical reasoning. While directives may play a role in presenting or communicating logical arguments, they do not hold truth values and cannot be evaluated as premises or conclusions in themselves. On the other hand, the ceremonial and performative functions of language, which involve greetings, formalities, and performing specific acts, are generally neutral in their impact on logical reasoning. These functions serve social and cultural purposes but do not directly affect the validity or soundness of arguments. It is important to distinguish between these different functions of language in order to effectively separate the information function, which is the primary concern of logical reasoning, for other functions that may be irrelevant or potentially misleading. Failure to do so can result in fallacious arguments or invalid conclusions. In addition to the recognizing the different functions of language, logical reasoning also benefits from the use of emotively neutral language. Emotional appeals, persuasive language, and emotive expressions can introduce biases, subjectivity, and irrelevant considerations in the logical analysis of arguments. By utilizing emotively neutral language, logical reasoning can proceed without the influence of subjective emotions, allowing for a clear and dispassionate examination of arguments. Furthermore, definitions play a crucial role in eliminating ambiguities and facilitating logical reasoning. Ambiguities in language can lead to misunderstandings, verbal disputes, and invalid conclusions. By providing clear and precise definitions of terms, ambiguities can be resolved and a common understanding can be established among parties involved in logical discourse. In summary, language is an indispensable tool for logical reasoning, but its various functions can either support or undermine effective logical analysis. While the informative function is essential for constructing and evaluating arguments, Other functions like expressive and directive language can introduce fallacies and obscure logical reasoning if not properly identified and separated. By recognizing these different functions, employing emotively neutral language, and using clear definitions, logical reasoning can proceed with greater clarity, precision, and validity. Second question. Explain the different types of definitions and their importance in eliminating ambiguities and facilitating logical reasoning. Definitions play a vital role in eliminating ambiguities and facilitating logical reasoning. Ambiguities in language can lead to misunderstandings, verbal disputes, and invalid conclusions, hindering effective communication and logical analysis. By providing clear and precise definitions of terms, ambiguities can be resolved and a common understanding can be established among parties involved in logical discourse. There are several types of definitions, each serving a specific purpose in addressing different aspects of ambiguity or vagueness in language. One type of definition is the stipulative definition, which assigns a new meaning to a term, often for convenience, secrecy, or economy of expression. Stipulative definitions are neither true nor false but rather a purpose proposed instruction or directive to use the term in the defined way. They are useful when introducing new terms or concepts, allowing for a precise and unambiguous understanding of their meaning. In contrast, lexical definitions report the establishment of commonly accepted usage of term. They aim to capture how the term is actually used by speakers of the language. Lexical definitions can be true or false depending on whether they accurately present the term's conventional meaning. These definitions are important for clarifying the existing usages of terms and resolving ambiguities that may arise from different interpretations or contexts. Another type of definition is the precising definition, which aims to reduce vagueness by providing greater clarity and precision to the meaning of a term. Vagueness occurs when there are borderline cases or uncertainties about whether a term should be applied in certain situations. Precising definitions establish more precise criteria or boundaries for the application of the term, overcoming the vagueness inherent in ordinary language usage. They are particularly valuable in legal context or when clear distinctions are necessary for logical reasoning. Theoretical definitions, on the other hand, attempt to capture the essence or fundamental nature of the concept within the context of a particular theoretical framework or philosophical perspective. They aim to provide a comprehensive and theoretically grounded understanding of the objects or phenomena to which a term refers. Theoretical definitions are often necessary when there are disputes or disagreements among scholars, philosophers, or scientists regarding the meaning and application of a term within different theoretical frameworks. While the above definitions aim to clarify and refine the meaning of terms, persuasive definitions are formulated when the primary intention of influencing attitudes, emotions, or beliefs rather than providing a neutral or objective definition. They frequently employ emotive language, loading terms, or value judgments to sway the reader or listener towards a particular viewpoint or position. Although persuasive definition may not directly contribute to the logical reasoning, they can shed light on the underlying emotions and agendas behind certain definitions. In the context of logical reasoning, clear and unambiguous definitions are essential for constructing valid arguments, evaluating premises, and drawing sound conclusions. Without precise definitions, the interpretation of statements and the validity of references can be compromised. By establishing a shared understanding of key terms through well defined concepts, logical reasoning can proceed more effectively, minimizing the potential for misinterpretations and fallacious agreements. Furthermore, definitions can help distinguish between different senses or usage of term, preventing equivocation fallacies where different meanings are conflicted. They can also establish boundaries and criteria for the application of a term, resolving vagueness and uncertainties about borderline cases. In summary, the various types of definitions serve different purposes in eliminating ambiguities and facilitating logical reasoning. Stipulative, lexical, precising, and theoretical definitions contribute to clarity, precision, and a shared understanding of terms, while persuasive definitions reveal underlying motivations and agendas. By employing appropriate definitions and addressing ambiguities, logical reasoning can proceed with greater rigor, validity, and effective communication. These are the two important essay questions of the chapter Logic and Science of Block 2 of the paper Humanism and Logic. Thanks for listening.